You wake up face first in the dirt. Your skin is freezing. Your lungs burn from the cold air. There's no bed. No walls, no phone. Just silence and a sky so wide it feels like it's watching you. Then you hear it. A low growl, not close, but not far enough. You scramble to your feet. You're barefoot. Your breath turns to fog. The trees are unfamiliar. The landscape is alien. You're not in the past week. You're not in the past century. You've been dropped 100,000 years into the past naked, unprepared, and completely alone. No tools, no help, no second chances. The Ice Age doesn't care who you were. Out here, you're meat. And if you don't figure out how to build a fire, fight off predators, and maybe, just maybe, earn the trust of the ancient humans who already own this land, you won't survive the night. This isn't just a survival story. This is what happens when you wake up in prehistory. Your eyes snap open to blinding white light. But it's not sunlight streaming through a window. It's the endless reflection of snow and sky, harsh blue and brutally cold. Your fingers twitch against the ground. It's not a floor. It's frozen earth. You're outside. You sit up slowly. There's no sign of civilization, no buildings, no roads, no smoke in the distance, just silence, deep, ancient silence. The wind slices through your thin clothes. You're shaking. Not from fear. From cold. This isn't the world you knew. You're surrounded by open plains dotted with gnarled trees and jagged rocks. In the far distance, mountains rise like broken teeth. There's no birdsong, only the occasional shriek of something you can't identify. Whatever it is, it's not small. You've been dropped 100,000 years in the past. Welcome to the middle. Paleolithic. Back then, Earth wasn't the green-blue ball we know. Much of the northern hemisphere was gripped by Ice Age climate cycles. Colossal glaciers covered huge swaths of land. Sea levels were lower. The continents looked different. Familiar landmarks, gone. And the creatures? Far from familiar. You might expect to see a saber-toothed cat. But even more terrifying were the things you wouldn't expect. Cave hyenas the size of lions, steppe bison with razor-sharp horns, and packs of wolves with instincts honed by evolutionary pressure. But the most dangerous thing out here is you, or rather them. Homo sapiens, yes, but also other humans. Neanderthals, Denisovans, species with fire, tools, language, and no mercy for strangers. You're no longer the apex predator. Out here, you're soft, loud, slow, and weak. And the night is coming fast. You've never really heard silence until now. Not the quiet hum of a fridge or distant traffic. This is raw, unfiltered stillness, broken only by the wind scraping across dead grass, or the sudden crack of a tree branch miles away. Your ears are on high alert, straining for anything familiar. But nothing is. Then the smell hits you. It's not unpleasant, just alien. The air is dense with the scent of wet earth, ancient bark, animal musk, and something else. Danger. Your brain can't label it, but your body reacts. The hair on your neck stands up. Your instincts, dulled by years of city living, begin to wake up. You taste blood. Your lip is split from the cold. You didn't even notice. That's how fast your senses are being overwhelmed. Your eyes scan the terrain, a mix of tundra, scrubland, and scattered trees. Visibility is both a blessing and a curse. You can see predators coming from afar, but they can see you too. No concrete, no walls, just open exposure. Then you notice tracks, dozens of them. Some look vaguely human. Bare feet, big toes, deep impressions. But others, massive claw marks. Something was here recently. Something heavy and fast. You freeze. In the distance, movement. A shadow darts between trees. Could be a boar. Could be a cat. Could be worse. Every sense you have is now weaponized. Your hearing sharper. Your peripheral vision more active. The scent of wet earth, ancient bark, animal musk, and something else. Danger. Your brain can't label it, but your body reacts. The air is dense with the scent of wet earth, ancient bark, animal musk, and something else. Danger. Your brain can't label it, but your body reacts. The scent of wet earth, ancient bark, animal musk, and something else. Danger. Your brain can't label it, but your body reacts. The scent of wet earth, ancient bark, animal musk, and something else. Danger. Your brain can't label it, but your body reacts. The scent of wet earth, ancient bark, animal musk, and something else. Danger. Your brain can't label it, but your body reacts. The scent of wet earth, ancient bark, animal musk, and something else. Danger. Your brain can't label it, but your body reacts. The scent of wet earth, ancient bark, animal musk, and something else. Danger. Your brain can't label it, but your body re Your mind running simulations you didn't know it could. It's not anxiety. It's evolution kicking in. But knowledge? That's still your only real advantage. You know what this place is. Roughly, you've read books, seen documentaries, played survival games. Maybe that counts for something. But right now, none of that matters. You're exposed. And your body's screaming. One word: move. You stumble through the cold, half-dazed, scanning for shelter, anything to block the wind. A rock overhang, a hollow tree, even a shallow ditch. Anything. That's when you see it. A set of handprints, pressed into mud now frozen solid. Human, but not quite. The fingers are thick. The thumbs are broad. These aren't your prints. They were left by someone else, or something else. You're not alone out here. 100,000 years ago, the Earth wasn't just home to one human species. Homo sapiens existed, yes, but they were still spreading. In Europe and parts of Asia, Neanderthals ruled the forests. In the mountains, Denisovans moved silently through high altitudes. And in places long since erased by time, there may have been other branches, now lost to extinction and mystery. You were dropped into a world with other humans, stronger, faster, and better suited for survival. But they don't know you. They don't speak your language. And if they see you first, they might not ask questions. They might just kill you. Because back then, trust was dangerous. Food was scarce. And territory meant life or death. You hear it: low, rhythmic thuds. Like rocks being struck. You follow the sound, crawling low across a rise, and peek down into a shallow valley. There they are. 3 of them. Naked but for furs, thick-browed, heavy-boned, Neanderthals, smashing marrow from bones. One glances up. You duck, but too late. You made noise. Your pulse spikes. Are they hostile? Curious? Territorial? You don't know. But one thing is clear. This world wasn't made for you. It already has its humans. You're not the first to walk this land. You're just the weakest. Forget fighting saber-tooths or outsmarting Neanderthals. Right now your biggest threats are exposure, dehydration, and panic. You have no gear, no knife, no lighter. You're dressed for a coffee run, not a prehistoric wilderness. Within hours, your body will begin shutting down if you don't find warmth. Fast. You need shelter. But what counts as shelter in this frozen wasteland? You scan the tree line. A small rock ledge catches your eye, part of a collapsed ridge. It's not much, but it's dry and faces away from the wind. You crawl inside and curl up tight, conserving heat. It's not home. It's not safe. But it's something. Then your throat tightens. You're thirsty. The kind of thirst that scrapes your throat raw. You remember the rule. 3 days without water, and you're dead. You need a source fast. Snow? Sure, but eating snow lowers your core temperature. You're already freezing. A stream would be better, but you're afraid to wander. The woods are too quiet. Eventually, you move. Every step is painful. Your feet are torn up. You hear rushing water and stumble toward it. A shallow stream, frigid and fast. You kneel and drink. It burns going down, but you feel life come back. Your mind sharpens. Small wins. Now you need fire. But you've never made one without a lighter. Rubbing sticks together? It's not a YouTube video. It's hell. Your fingers are numb. Your breath fogs so thick you can barely see. You gather dry grass and dead branches, stones for a fire pit. Then you try. Again and again. Sparks, smoke, failure. But eventually it happens. A flicker. A glow. Fire. You could cry. In just a few hours you've gone from helpless to barely surviving. And the sun's already sinking. Night is coming, and with it, the real predators. The fire flickers weakly, casting shadows against the rocks. It's not warmth, it's a barrier. A psychological line between you and the things that hunt in the dark. But fire doesn't make you safe. Not out here. Somewhere in the distance. You hear them, deep, guttural howls layered, rising. A pack, not dogs. These are Ice Age wolves. Bigger, meaner, hungrier than any modern descendant. You freeze, barely breathing. They're far. For now, you need more than heat. You need defense. Instinct takes over. You find a broken branch long, solid, jagged at the end. A crude spear. It won't win any awards, but it might buy you seconds. You grip it tight. Your hands are shaking, not from fear, but from adrenaline. Your brain is wired for survival now, but you'll need more. You start scanning for sharp stones. A flake of obsidian would be perfect, but you settle for flint. You remember something core and striker. You bash two rocks together until you split a jagged edge. Pain shoots through your hand. One of your fingers splits open. Blood. Doesn't matter. You're learning. You bind the stone to a stick with torn strips from your shirt. Primitive, ugly, but now you have a knife. You think about the wolves, about Neanderthals, about falling into a cold, empty sleep and never waking up. And for the first time since you arrived, you feel something dangerous stirring in your chest. Determination, because it's clear now, no one is coming. This isn't a simulation. This isn't a game. If you want to live, you'll have to become someone else, someone ancient. The sky's turning purple. The wolves are closer, and you're holding your breath, back pressed against the stone wall, spear in hand ready for whatever the night throws at you. The cold is cruel, but it's not what wakes you. It's the silence. That terrifying, unnatural stillness. Then dash, snap. A branch breaks. Close, you sit bolt upright. The fire's barely embers now. Your eyes scan the tree line, lit only by a faint orange glow. And then, movement. Two glowing eyes. Low to the ground, watching you. You don't know what it is. Could be a dire wolf. Could be something worse. But it's not alone. You hear another crack, then a low growl. Your breath catches. They're circling. Your makeshift spear feels like a toy in your hand, but it's all you've got. You hold it tight, heart pounding. You're not ready to fight. You're barely ready to think. But instinct is now your only friend. You stand slowly, posture wide, trying to look big. You grab a burning stick from the fire. It flares with oxygen. The movement makes one of the shadows flinch. Fire is fear. You yell. Loud, raw, primal. Not words. Just sound. It buys you a moment. They retreat into the darkness. Not gone, just waiting. Testing you. The hours crawl by. You don't sleep. You can't. Every noise feels like a death sentence. You sit, legs pulled tight, staring into the coals, feeding the fire with what little fuel you can scrounge. And slowly, almost cruelly, dawn breaks. Your body is aching. Your eyes burn. You haven't slept. You've barely eaten. But you're alive. That night, you learn something you'll never forget. Survival isn't about strength. It's about will. You're adapting. But you also know this was just a test. The land is watching you. The beasts are waiting. And the humans, the real ones, they haven't even shown up yet. The second time you see them, you're ready. Not armed, not strong, but cautious. You're crouched in a tree line, watching. A small group, 5 or 6. Human, mostly. Stocky frames, heavy brows. Coarse hair, Neanderthals. They move like a unit. Every step intentional. Their eyes scan, heads tilt at every sound. These aren't cavemen grunting around fires. They're hunters, trackers, survivors. And they've been doing this far longer than you've been alive. One of them stops. He looks directly at your hiding spot. Time slows. You can run. You won't make it. You can fight. You'll die. Instead, you do the only thing your brain can offer. You step out slowly, palms up. No weapon, no threat. Just a silent surrender. He raises a hand, not to strike but to signal. The others gather. They don't rush you. They observe, quietly. Curious, not hostile. You drop to your knees. Then something you didn't expect. One of them walks forward and touches your chest with a thick finger, then taps his own. A gesture. Simple, ancient that you don't speak their language. But communication isn't always verbal, they let you follow. Not in the center. On the edge, you're not one of them. But you're not prey. Either. As you walk behind the group, you realize you've entered their world. A world of subtle glances, hand signs, shared kills, and quiet rituals. Trust isn't given, it's earned. And the rules here are different. You're a modern human carrying 21st century thoughts inside. A Paleolithic story. And that's starting to fracture you. You're beginning to see what they see. Feel what they feel. You're starting to change. By the third day, you're starving. Your body aches in new places, shoulders from carrying weight, feet from terrain, jaw from clenching in silence. The Neanderthals say little, but you're beginning to understand their rhythms. Every morning starts before dawn. Fires are extinguished, tools are packed. Movement is constant. These people don't settle, they flow. Following herds, avoiding threats. Reading the land like a map you never learned to see. You try to copy them. They show you without words. One squats beside a muddy patch, points to faint hoofprints, then to his nose. H, he grunts. You sniff. Smell it now, musky, sharp, wild. A herd passed through recently. Tracking isn't magic. It's memory, patience, and pattern. And you're just a baby in their world. They teach you by doing. You mimic their movements. Chipping stones into blades, tying sinew into cords, shaping branches into traps. You fail, a lot. But no one mocks you. In this world, failure isn't weakness, it's part of the cost of survival. One night, they let you sit close by the fire. Not in the center, but not on the edge anymore. Someone passes you roasted meat. It's tough, stringy, bitter, but it's warm. It's shared. You accept it with both hands. You're starting to understand their rules. Food is sacred. Fire is communal. Eyes speak more than mouths. You don't talk unless you need to. You watch. You listen. You move as one. And slowly, your brain rewires itself. You stop craving your phone. You stop thinking in time zones and schedules. You start measuring days and footsteps and weather. You're not one of them. But you're not who you were either. Something ancient is waking up inside you and it wants to stay. You don't know how long it's been. There are no calendars here. No clocks. Only seasons shifting. Bones piling up. Stories passed in grunts and firelight. You no longer count time by days but by kills, by storms, by scars. Your hands are thicker, calloused. Your stride is wider. You move like they do now, silent, grounded, alert. You've learned their rituals, rubbing ash over wounds, whispering to the fire before sleeping, placing stones over the eyes of the dead. One night, a child gets sick. The group huddles close. The mother weeps not loudly, but with a trembling jaw. You don't know the words, but you feel the meaning. It's the first time you realize these people love deeply. They are not dumb brutes. They are human. Just a different kind. And maybe now, so are you. You dream less of your old life. The world you came from feels like a hallucination, soft, fast, unreal, a world of blinking screens and endless noise. You remember it like a story someone once told you, not a place you lived. You've changed. But more than that, you've been changed. Your clothes are long gone. You wear fur, sinew, dirt, and memory. You've killed. You've watched others die. You've learned to read skies, stalk prey, and feel fear without freezing. You've become someone your past self wouldn't recognize. One evening, around a roaring fire, the group laughs. Not at you, with you. A shared joke, a grunt, a smirk. You're one of them now, and that's when it hits you. If a portal opened right now, a way back to comfort, warmth, safety, would you even take it? You don't. No, because here, in this brutal, beautiful world, you finally remembered what it means to be human. You survived, but more than that, you adapted. Thrown 100,000 years into the past, stripped of comfort, surrounded by predators and strangers, you didn't just endure. You became. Not the version of yourself with a morning routine and email inbox, but the version your ancestors carried in their blood. The one who listened, who fought, who remembered how to feel the wind as a warning and the stars as a map. It's strange, isn't it? We build skyscrapers and smartphones and AI, but underneath it all, we're still them. Still shaped by hunger, fear, warmth, and wonder. So maybe the real question isn't, could you survive the past? It's how much of the past is still in you. If this journey made you think, even for a second, about where we come from and what we've lost, then maybe it's worth exploring more together. Subscribe for more stories that dig into the forgotten parts of our human story. Drop a comment. What would you miss most if you woke up 100,000 years ago? And hey, if you'd take the fire over the phone. We see you. Until next time, stay curious, stay wild, and remember, you're built from survivors.